here we have to graph a rational function, and this involves many parts. There are videos for each of these smaller parts if you just want to know how do I do just one part, but if you want to see how does it all come together, that's what this video is for. So we have f of x equals x over x plus 1. Vertical asymptote, we set our denominator, which is x plus 1, equal to 0. So our vertical asymptote is x equals a negative 1. I can go over here and go ahead and draw that in. End behavior asymptote, we take our leading term on the top, which is an x, over the leading term on the bottom, which is an x. Look for, is the bottom degree bigger? It's actually a degree of 1 and a degree of 1, so those are the same, which means we simplify. X divided by x is just a 1. So our EBA is y equals 1. Do that in red. Okay, so I do think drawing in those asymptotes really helps out. I would encourage you to do that so you can really see what's happening with your graph. Now the x-intercept, the shortcut that we've been doing with that is if you set your numerator equal to 0, and you're going to get your x-intercept. So we're solved for x already. It's x equals 0 or the point 0, 0 because it's an intercept. So we come over here and we plot our point 0, 0. And then our y-intercept is we plug in 0 for x. So y will be equal to 0 divided by 0 plus 1, which is 0 over 1. 0 divided by 1 is 0. So our y-intercept actually is 0, 0 as well. So that one spot kind of hit both intercepts for us. Now, to get our table of values, what we're going to do is look at our vertical asymptote, which is right here, and we're going to pick numbers 2 before it and 2 after it. So we're going to do a table for -3, -2. We're going to skip that -1 and do 0 and 1. So we don't always need to have, you know, the 5 boxes like we've been doing. One of these I already know because we did the math. When x is a 0, that was right here. What is the y? So there's that point. And then all you're doing is you're plugging in the rest of the numbers. You know, if I'll just do some math up here. Plug in a -3 for x. -3 over -3 plus 1 is a -3 over -2, which is a positive 3/2. Or thinking about it like mixed numbers may help also, 1.5. Now let's take -2 divided by -2 plus 1, and -2 over -1, which leaves us with a positive 2. And then the last one is 1. 1 divided by 1 plus 1, which is 1 over 2. So we have 1/2. So those are the rest of our points. We'll go ahead and plot those. -3, was it positive 1.5 is right here. -2, positive 2. 0, 0 is on there, and then we have 1 and just a half. So I know that I'm going to stay within these asymptotes, and I'm going to look for those curves so I can see I'm lined up in a nice curve like this. And then here is my nice curve going this way. If you plot 2 points and you don't feel like it's enough to tell what the graph is doing, you can always plot more points on your, do a bigger table of values just to be sure that you're drawing the correct graph. Last thing, domain and range. Domain is all of our x's. And then if we think about our x's go along, and then we jump over the spot, and then the x's keep going. So it's all real numbers, but x will not be equal to a -1. And our range, we're coming down like this. I have graph for all these y numbers, but I skipped that spot, and I have a graph for all those y numbers. So the range is all real numbers, but y will not equal, what was that, a positive 1. So there's a graph. That was under 5 minutes. So once we get the hang of these, they don't take 20 minutes to do just one. The more you practice, the faster these will go. So good luck.